This is the brave tale of the myth of Madron Well. Spurn and thoo, Bors, Droag and Buckadoo. Spurn and win, Bors, Lowen and Buckawidden. Long, long ago there was a boy by the name of John Trelil, who lived over Morva way. Every year at Morva feast there would be a great game of hurling to country. Everyone joined in, chasing after the silver ball, scrabbling through hedges and over ditches to be the first to carry the ball into the next parish. John was just 12 years old. He was not big, he was not strong, but he was fast. Fast as a falcon and as slippery as a pilchard. When that silver ball came hurtling his way, he saw his chance and grabbed it quick as lightning. The whole town place was full of great burly miners and fishermen, but not one of them could lay their hands on young John Trelil as he dodged his way over a hedge and across the field. Here goes, thought John Trelil to himself. If I can just make it to that great blackthorn thicket, they'll never catch me in there. With the silver ball clasped tight to his chest, and the mob pursuing close behind him, he plunged into the thorny bushes, scrabbling low on his belly under the spiky branches. Sure enough, the wall of prickles stopped the first wave of chasing hurlers. Stopped them short. Ouch! Spurn and thoo! Blackthorn! Came the shouts. I ain't gone in there. John scuttled on his belly deeper and deeper into the thicket and laughed to himself, proud of his clever plan. Soon as they give up looking, he thought, I'll be up and out of here, off to the parish boundary, and the silver ball will be mine to keep. But the hurlers did not give up so easily, and John could hear their curses and complaints as they circled round and round and round the blackthorn. The hours ticked past, the afternoon wore away to evening, and still the boy lay clutching the silver ball deep inside the thicket. John began to feel tired and chilly. The light was fading, and he began to remember the stories his mother told him when he was little. Spurn and thoo, Bors, Droag and Buckadoo. The little song meant, Blackthorn, blackthorn, home, evil home of the black spirit. But John knew it was just a silly rhyme, and he was far too old to believe in such stories now. But as he lay there, surrounded by the tangled branches, with every minute getting colder and darker, it was hard to keep cheerful. Half awake and half asleep, John began to dream dark dreams. He thought he could hear strange sounds. Was it the Buckadoo? Were its flared nostrils sniffing the air and its ghostly red eyes turning to look for the boy? Was the Buckadoo creeping stealthily through the thorns towards him like a spider on its long black limbs? Surely that was the noise of its leathery wings scraping through the thorn bushes just a few feet away. Waking suddenly with his heart pounding in his chest, John began to inch forward on his belly, away from the sound, still clutching the silver ball. The noises just seemed to be getting nearer and nearer. John crawled faster, but the thorns scratched at his arms and legs, clutching at his clothes like the Buckadoo's claws. Suddenly, in a panic, John knew that he had to get away. He pushed himself up, meaning to bash and battle his way through the bushes, but at that moment, whack! He was struck an almighty blow across the black backbone by a weighty blackthorn branch. John screamed in pain and fell to the ground. When he came to his senses, John was in so much pain that he could hardly move his legs. The silver ball had disappeared, but he was past caring about the hurling. He just wanted to get out and get home as quick as he could. It was all he could do to drag himself on his belly and, trailing his useless legs behind him, squeeze out of the blackthorn. Luckily for John, there were still a few people about, and a stocky miner picked the poor boy up and carried him home to his mother. "Oh," his mother cried when she saw him and heard his terrible tale. "Spurn and thoo, Bos droag and buckadoo." Clucking and fussing, she put him to bed and nursed him with warm towels and homemade ointments. Sadly, John's injury did not get better. Not the next day, not the next week, not even the next year. The poor boy lived with constant pain and couldn't walk a step without crying out in agony. Every year he watched the hurling from his cottage window, but could never think of joining in. Then, years later, when John had grown to be a young man, he was visited by a powerful dream. In his dream, John was once again asleep in a dark, thorny thicket, and he could hear the words of the rhyme echoing in his head. "Spurn and thoo, Bos droag and buckadoo." "Oh no," cried John, "please not the buckadoo again." But then a second voice came into his dream, singing in cheerful tones, "Spain and win, Bos loen and buckawidden." This little rhyme means, white thorn, happy home of the white spirit. And looking up, he saw that instead of blackthorn bushes, it was the white thorn that shaded him. John dreamt that he could see the smiley face and pudgy features of the little good white spirit, the buckawidden, sitting in the hawthorn branches above his head. "Hello, John Trelaw," called the buckawidden cheerfully. "You'm looking a bit wished and weary. Whatever was the matter with thee?" "Oh, buckawidden," replied John, "'tis this awful pain in me back that I got from the buckadoo. Can't he help me?" "No problem, my beauty," said the cheerful spirit. "Just give us a jowd, a little rag ripped from your clothes, and I'll take your pain away from me." "Thank you, buckawidden," called John Trelaw. "But how'll I find ye?" "Madron well," said the spirit, fading away. "Spurn and win, Madron well." When John woke up, he knew exactly what he had to do. He'd heard stories about the miracles at Madron Well often enough, and now it was time to see if there was truth in them. The ancient holy well was just off the road to Penzance, deep inside a wood of whitethorn trees. John Trelaw crawled on his hands and knees along a grassy path, deeper and deeper into the wood. The water of the ancient pool was very cold as John slipped in. 3 times he plunged, then silently started crawling. After 9 sunwise circuits of the well, he was ready to collapse on the little green mound called St. Madron's bed, and, though chilly, fell straight asleep. No dreams, buckadoo or buckawidden, visited John that night. He slept as peacefully as a baby. When John awoke, he had hardly moved a muscle when a twinge of pain shot up down his back. "Oh no, it hasn't worked. I still can't move," he shrieked. So, the following week, John was back again. 3 more times he plunged into the well. 9 more times he crawled sunwise round the pool. Once again he slept on the little mound, all in silence. Once again he woke up and still was in pain. But on the 3rd Wednesday of May, things were different. 3 more times he plunged in the well. 9 more times he crawled sunwise round the pool. He made for the mound of St. Madron's bed, but hadn't he forgotten something? "Oh," John just managed to stop himself from speaking out loud. He'd forgotten about the jowd. Slowly, John's dream of the buckerwidden came back. He ripped a small strip of cloth from the bottom of his shirt and carefully tied it to the whitethorn tree standing over the well. John slept deeply on St. Madron's bed that night, and both the buckerwidden and St. Madron herself visited him in a series of happy dreams. When he woke up, the miracle had at last come true. John Trelayle jumped up from the ground and danced a jig for joy. Not a twinge, not a tweak, not the faintest remnant of pain. He was cured. John ran, jumped and skipped all the way back to Morva. Before long, he became one of the most famous and athletic hurlers of Morva, winning a whole collection of silver balls, although he always steered clear of the blackthorn bushes. To this day, you may visit Madron Well, and if you go there on any of the first 3 Wednesdays in May, you may just meet a crowd of hopeful, silent bathers. But whatever time of year you visit, you cannot help but be impressed by the hundreds of jowds left tied to the whitethorn tree. Let's hope that both St. Madron and the buckerwidden are pleased to see the crowds of little cluties dancing on every hawthorn bush. Spurn and thu, bows droag and buckadoo. Spurn and win, bows loen and buckerwidden. And that's the brave tale of the myth of Madron of the Madron Thorn.